Now that's real interesting to try and like talk about. Let me get back to that. Like, did they even add anything else after? I'm curious, but let's just get through all this first. That sinister dark fragment everyone called the ultimate cookie dough. I believe that's where the problem lies. So you're saying that dough is what made Shadow Milk Cookie act all weird? That dough seems to drain the owner's life energy while simultaneously amplifying the darkest parts of any cookie's hearts. Dark emotions, negative feelings, all of it. That is probably why I made that choice. I deemed those who betrayed me evil. I decided that the world's scenario must be rewritten entirely from scratch. How intriguing. If your theory is correct, and if you were corrupted by that dough, what would you do? If it were me, I wouldn't cross the timeline right away. Why not? Because it wouldn't be perfect. Perfect? Playwrights strive for the utmost perfection. They seek to put on a beautiful performance without a single flaw. But crossing timelines means unverified risks, instability, ultimately imperfection. You'd need to be certain, would you not? If you're staging such a grand play, that is. To employ every cookie of that timeline, of that world as your actors. There would be so much preparation required. So if it were me, I would make my move only after all preparations were complete. The moment everything is stable, when I'm certain everything will bend to my will. It wouldn't be too far into the future, though. I would prefer to leave no room for the enemy to hold on to hope. I would come in like calamity. Then, I would use the world itself as my stage, for the most dramatic performance imaginable. Well, you're as complex as the timelines themselves. I'm still concerned about that dark dough. I admit it is quite intriguing. How was it created? I'd really prefer if you didn't take an interest in that. Think of it as scholarly curiosity. Very well. Then here's the most important question. How do we stop the you of that timeline? Was that just Shadow Milk jump scare? I feel like that counts as a Shadow Milk jump scare. Anyway, one of my light bulbs died. Oh no. Yeah, go ahead and fix that real quick. Fix those bulbs. You'd never be too sure. But I guess we'll just immediately move on because I need to find out how the pleb can this mad cookie be Wait, how do we have a check mark down there? We didn't even get our daily, did we? No, we didn't. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Well, thank you for that. Alright, how the pleb do we stop this idiot? A way to stop me. There are several possibilities. None of them easy, I'm afraid. The slightest disruption of the flow could plunge this world into endless chaos and ruin. Of course. Stop my other self from wreaking temporal havoc. We must address the root causes. And the most dangerous of them all are the voices from within. Those that keep urging my other self on. An amalgamation of countless cursed souls drawing out the darkness buried deep within one's existence. If we could separate that dough from me, or silence those voices of the souls, a narrow window of possibility to save the world would be indeed open. But how would we create an opportunity? However, as they have converged into a single existence, separation would be extremely difficult. No, not difficult, rather impossible. Impossible? Yes, too many problems to solve, too many conditions to meet. Unless multiple miracles occur simultaneously, the chances are astronomically low. My other self simply has amassed far too much power in the timeline he created. The source of power that sustains this timeline comes from the Soul Jam and the Guardians of Nature, correct? Right. The principles that sustain a timeline differ for each one of them, but in this one, it's the Soul Jams and the Guardians of Nature. Soul Jams form from condensed life energy, act as pillars supporting the cookie world by radiating their energy. The Guardians of Nature oversee the constant flow of the energy, allowing it to nurture the cookie world. Not only was the core timeline Soul Jam almost depleted, but it was also stolen. The balance of nature has been disrupted because the Guardians chose to intervene in the war of the fate of all cookie kind against the very laws that were meant to uphold. Now, not only has the core timeline split in two, it precariously short on the power needed to sustain it. Exactly. Meanwhile, the situation in the timeline created by my other self is likely the complete opposite. He possesses multiple Soul Jams, the source of timeline power, and controls cookies who harness that power by corrupting them with cursed souls. And looking at that timeline state, though it appears obsolete, or desolate, I can sense its energy accumulating at an alarming rate. He must have corrupted the Guardians of Nature who oversee the flow of timeline and the life energy itself. He must have accelerated the life energy circulation to amplify the timeline's power, and that eerie clarion must belong to those who performed the miracles at the behest of the gods during the creation of our world. He probably even used the power of the beings from the very myths. He is staging a new play, one that depicts the creation of a new world. My other self has gathered nearly all of the necessary power in other worlds. He has finished his rehearsal in another timeline and is now ready to raise the curtain onto the main stage. If he is too late to counter this, the core timeline's power is far too insufficient and unstable.
Is there surely no way? How disappointing. I had high hopes for this time, thinking we might find a way. Well, too bad, but this attempt seems to be a failure. Let's start over from the beginning.
Wait, don't tell me. This isn't our first conversation. You've been rewinding time again and again until I find the answer. How many times have we had this conversation?
Who knows? It doesn't really matter, does it? Time that gets cut away and erased never existed in the first place. Let's hurry up and start again. Precious time is slipping away even as we speak.
Wait, hold on. There might be a way.
Really?
It is nearly impossible, but I think there might be. If we trace back to the root of all this, we should find crucial clues. The Soul Gems, source of all power. The past and future of the cookies connected to it. The being formed from the pure light of Soul Gems. And even the amalgamation of accursed souls that became the source of destruction and chaos. But most importantly, we must perfectly understand and deconstruct my other self's state to counter him. My other self is composed of three things merged into one. Shadow Milk Cookie's own soul, the ultimate cookie dough, and the power of the Soul Gems. To prevent the timeline from collapsing, we must possess true understanding of these three entities.
True understanding?
Ironic, is it not? What is needed to stop a being capable of destroying the whole world is not some great power, but true understanding. Shadow Milk Cookie's own soul, the ultimate cookie dough, and the power of the Soul Gems. To separate these three tangled powers, we must find cookies who could achieve true understanding and resonate with each of the three. And all of this must be accomplished while withstanding my other self's powerful onslaught before the timeline collapses. Success would require multiple miracles, each with odds of 1 to millions to occur repeatedly. It would be nearly impossible. But you, someone who could see the connections of casualty and manipulate time, you might reach that one successful ending amongst infinite possibilities. Or even if you don't reach it, another version of you might continue where the failed you left off. Just like what you're doing right now.
Oh, utterly fascinating. I knew I came to the right place. Perfect. This helps a lot. I think I can figure out the rest from here.
I'm glad to hear that. Yet I believe this is all I can tell you for now. If I say any more and affect the timeline too greatly, everything I might have protected might disappear.
What a fascinating cookie you are. Truly worthy of being called the sage,
I'll take that as a compliment.
Alright then. Time to go back.
So now all that's left is the flow of time, which should lead to an ending of this whole branch of storyline. I'm curious as to how this would connect anywhere, but... Well, more importantly, I'm more connected how that last cutscene that we haven't seen yet connects. Anyway, also, if Timekeeper goes to the alternate dimension where Eternal Sugar is the screenwriter... Eternal Sugar. Oh, that's true, you mean the costumes. Wonder if that would happen. So apparently the Carbonara Fettuccine cookie costume and Gold Memories Squid Ink cookie costumes were some sort of event costumes. Now, I know that. They were costumes for, like, these big boss things. Because I know it happened with Squid Ink first, and then Fettuccine. I remember those. Black Pudding has a katana and Cookie Run Oven Smash, Mr. Himes. Domain Expansion, Infinite Questions. But, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about Naruto. Anyway, hey HyperHimes. If you were in Splatoon, would you be an Inkling or an Octoling? It's for fan art. Probably an Inkling, only just because I think, like, I vibe with them more. I would definitely be one to, like, vibe with a big old paint roller. Just because I like using that weapon in Splatoon 1. Anyway, this is the last cutscene for this section before we have the whole bottom section, but I also do want to go back and see that one section, being Flow of Time. Must be very convenient for you to travel like this.
Convenient, huh?
Yes, but I would rather not use such a power. Remember what I said. I am a complex cookie. The moment I obtain this kind of power, I would surely want to shake up both the past and the future.
Then I'll have to find another way to face you.
This has been fascinating. Should I thank you for giving me an experience, of which most cookies never even get a mere glimpse of?
It was fun indeed. You surely are a curious one.
I hope fate allows us another meeting.
Well, you're better off not meeting me again.
True. Now that I think about it, how many times did we have this conversation? You've been rewinding time over and over until I found the answer, right?
One last thing. Actually, it's our first.
What do you mean? You tried to cut me out with those time scissors.
I lied. I was just imitating the other yous. You didn't quite seem so to grasp the gravity of the crisis, so I gave you a little reminder.
You really got me there. Perhaps turning to the power of deceit is not such a bad idea after all.
Don't be like that. Thanks to that, you stumbled upon the truth rather quickly, right? Among countless versions of you, you're a rare uncorrupted one. It'd be a shame if you too fell into the abyss.
Well then, stranger who flew from afar into search of the truth, may you obtain what you seek.
Words of gold, thank you. Try to make your own time spectacular as well. The world holds countless possibilities, but your time is yours and yours only. Now then, I've heard this side of the story. An uncontrollable disaster and a dramatic production with the entire world as the stage. What kind of climax is he preparing, I wonder? I bet it must be something out of this world. The future's getting more and more intriguing. Now then, I passed the end of time and met the culprit. Time to head back. To check out another future.
Wait, so does that mean once we start in this section, being twisted time, is this, father and son? Huh. Like I mentioned, doesn't this have to do with the ancients? Because when they say, like, go to a different future, does that mean... Because I thought with how time, you know, Croissant Cookie looked, I thought it was going to be referencing, like, the Croissant Cookie, like, director costume, if that made sense. I forgot you had the stream playing. Yeah, don't worry, I'm vibing right here. We've been streaming for, like, 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's actually pretty impressive. We'll see if we can go for longer, obviously. Get the Bleach Pleb. What? I don't think of like that. Can you truth concealably time in prologue? Truth concealably time in prologue. What the pleb does that mean? Oh, did you mean what? What do you mean the thing? What? Wait, where am I? Where the pleb am I? Yeah. How go back? Hold on, wait. Was it this? Yeah, this. Apparently, yeah. Someone said truth concealed. Oh, it's truth concealed by time. Apparently, people really want to see this, so now I'm curious myself. Five virtues bestowed upon the cookie world by the witches are waning, vanishing without a trace. The place of the solidarity left in this world soon shall be taken by the sacrifice for the sake cookie kind's freedom. Listen and the silence that shall follow in its wake. Its voices. Ooh. The chosen ones, baked by the witches, have failed their sacred missions, but the witches themselves are nowhere to be seen. Yet the current of change shall continue its destined path. History far greater, far more glorious is yet awaiting to be written. For the happiness of all cookies to come, we are the lights of the five virtues. Yet what remains for us now? You are the Soul Gem. That is the name by which we are known to the cookie kind. Yet we are the lights of solidarity, change, knowledge, volition, happiness, created by the witches to illuminate the world of cookies with their absolute virtues. It is our purpose to bathe the world in our rays, ceaselessly. But the world is no longer protected by its architects. Therefore, we must find another path, new vessels. Indeed, power bestowed in the past, Now it's we who shall find new worthy wielders.
And perhaps our form aligns with our new purpose to guide Cookie Kind no longer. What do you mean? As long as we exist in this form, new chosen ones will appear in every age to inherit our radiance. Can a cookie truly alter the course of their fate through their volition only? Your solution is our fracture, our own demise? Not fracture, but an act of sharing. We will share the strength that Cookie Kind requires to look bravely into the face of destiny.
So shall it be. And thus the currents of history saw another change.
Then it is time. Elder Fairy Cookie, there is something you must do. Traverse this world, scatter us across its vast lands for all who are worthy to find our radiance. But first, sieve the good in us from the wicked. Cleanse our light and send it back into the world.
But the virtues must encompass both sides, good and evil. Must they be divided?
Your words ring true. The process will cause us great pain. Our very essence split in half. There will be no greater suffering. Yet, we are prepared. It must be done to put the cookie world in its rights.
Will be done. Power bestowed by our creators. One that my old ally sought to share with all willing to stand in solidarity with the weak and the tormented. I do not know what future will bring, but I shall do it for the sake of my promise. Guide me.
Very well. Lastly, let it be known as the witch's deed. That is how the world must remember it, along with the tale of your own ally. Farewell, my friends. Perhaps fate will allow us to meet again. However different forms we will take, shaped by time, encounter, and journey. Our lights shine once more.
My gosh, that was the first time I think we've actually seen all of, like, the virtues speak. My gosh, okay. That's so... I don't even know what to say about that, because that's the first time where we've seen, like, the actual virtues. The virtues themselves speak. I mean, technically the other ones have spoken before. We've seen, like, the solidarity ones especially speak. But, like, my gosh. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just amazing, because, like, now, like, I guess, so, the Soul Jam of Solidarity, that ended up fading, finding a new one, which ended up being the combination of White Lily and Silent Salt, but the other four are still out there somewhere. Timekeeper called to ruin the Cookie Run timeline. What do you mean called? What? Half ruin? Okay. Lore Bomb. Yeah. Still in the side wizard. So this is, by the way, Elder Fairy from another timeline. And also, apparently someone acts like this like a bedtime. I've seen Timekeeper, like, screwing with a timeline video. What you mean, the Cookie Run Kingdom of it? Yeah, of course I have. What do you mean? Anyway. So, now that I got that cutscene out of the way, not really much else got added to us in regards to... Because the only thing that's available was the bank. I should probably be right back to, like, get a drink, because, what I have to do now is... I surprisingly haven't... Do I have it allow me to, like, take care of this chapter? I don't think I can get through all the levels, but, This is only 11 days left to reach that, but sheesh. But, at the very least, I need to do the rest of these bottom cutscenes. Wait, chest. Oh, there we go. 5 croissant cookie soul stones, 500 crystals, 500 rainbow cubes, and 500 chakra chalk. Perfect for drawing for some random stuff. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the plebs who are becoming members on the HyperHimes channel, being Casual Gaming, Luli Games, Jojo Sands, Eduardo Pimentel, Wavy Plays Games, Zagai Kotsu, Luca, Dings, Umi, Pibby IRL and Electronics, Chaos Jebel, Truth the CJ Official, Anti-Prank Official, Funcat, Pebbles, Sweet Ribbon VT, Dark Flare, and Mocha CRK. Genuinely, I can't thank you all enough for all the love and support, and let's keep on growing together.